And welcome to the Charlotte Bobcat post-game show. I'm the coach, Dick Cox, joined by Dustin Phifer. Well, so far a good week for the Bobcats. Coming off a very impressive win over Toronto, holding on when a 30-point lead almost got away, playing tonight against a very tough Clipper team. Bobcats come out, play well for 4 quarters, play good as a team, and pick up a W and make it 2 in a row.
It's a really good win tonight, Coach. I mean, probably one of their better wins of the season. They go against a Clippers team who is a contender out west. Also an NBA title contender with their new coach, Doc Rivers. Yes, they were without Chris Paul, but they still have big-name players like Jamal Crawford, Blake Griffin. Those guys had some really good nights. But the Bobcats, kind of like Coach Clifford said, they're really getting back to playing the way they were at the start of the year, with tough defense, with a lot of effort, and their offense is starting to click a little bit. So a very good win tonight. It wasn't really just one guy doing it. It was an all-around team effort, and it's really good to see. Even without Kemba Walker, Coach, we were worried about this stretch. Could this be when the season kind of gets away from them? But hey, 2-0 without Kemba, I don't think anybody would have saw that coming.
A player that I've liked all along, really, as Al Jefferson said, he sat there and he waited for 41 games, really hadn't gotten a chance, but he said that he's the first one in to practice, last one to leave. Pargo has given them a tremendous lift this week as a backup point guard. Had 11 points again tonight, 5 out of 8 shooting, had 2 assists, 1 steal though. But this guy has come in, I call him Instant O, done a great job and really picked his team up when they could have very easily collapsed losing Kemba. They're 2-0 without him.
Well, like you said, he has not played the whole season, and in his first 2 games, he has 11 points both times. So, really good spark off the bench. You know, Sessions is normally that guy who comes in and leads the second unit. Now he's inserted into the starting lineup, so you lose a lot of your scoring in that second unit. So Pargo really coming in and doing a great job. Another guy coming in and doing a great job is Anthony Tolliver, knocking down some big-time shots. Those 2 guys are the leaders off the bench now. They've done a great job. Both of them can shoot the ball really well, and that's one of the reasons that the Bobcats are 2-0 now without Kemba Walker, and have gotten 2 really impressive home wins so far this week.
Another one of my favorite players who plays solid, I guess, the Rodney Dangerfield, the team who most fans probably don't give a lot of respect, but coaches love. Josh McRoberts gets it done on both. He had to cover Blake Griffin tonight. Did a great job, I thought, of covering Blake, but does all the little things on both ends of the court, like, you know, Coach was saying tonight too, that people don't realize. They can see some of the things he does on the offensive end, but defensively does so many things for this team too.
Well, it was great to talk about McRoberts after the game. Like you said, Coach, nobody really notices him out there because he's not a flashy guy, but when you sit there and look at the box score at the end of the night, and he goes all night against a guy like Blake Griffin, who's arguably a superstar, if not a star in this league. But then when you look at the box score, he's got 13 points, he's got 8 rebounds, he's got 5 assists. He's doing a little bit of everything, and I think it was a great moment to catch up with Coach Clifford after the game and talk about McRoberts. We know in the preseason, the owner, Michael Jordan, said that McRoberts is a connect-the-dots guy, which means he kind of brings everything together on the floor. And then Clifford said, hey, listen, this is a funny story. When he first got the job, he got a couple of calls from former players, people he used to work with. One was from Darvin Ham, who used to be a player in the league and also a former coach with Clifford, and he said, hey, one of these guys that you're going to want to keep right off the bat is Josh McRoberts. Then he got a call from, everybody knows Jameer Nelson, the point guard for the Orlando Magic, and Jameer Nelson said, I know how you coach. McRoberts is a guy you're going to want to have on your team, and we're seeing that, Coach, not only on the offensive end where he passes the ball, even with Kemba out, he's a point guard getting the assist, but on the defensive end, when you can go one-on-one with Blake Griffin all night, Blake Griffin got his points, but in the fourth quarter when it mattered, they really crunched down on defense. And again, McRoberts doesn't get a lot of love from the fans, but he is one of the glue guys on this team.
And you can probably tell right now that I'm a member of the Josh McRoberts fan club now. I will go ahead and get my funny in for the night, though. When McRoberts was on the free throw line with 2 free throws to ice the game, he made both of them, and my comment was, caption for that picture was, Jesus answers prayer.
Well, that's a good line, considering, like we were talking about earlier, the Bobcats were terrible for 3 quarters. They really, from the free throw line, they were terrible. They weren't making anything. And then how about in the fourth quarter, Coach, they go 7 for 8, so they knock them down when it matters. And that's one of the things that we've seen, Coach, in these close games, that they haven't been able to get over the hump. They're missing free throws down the stretch. You talk about it all the time. It's one of the worst things as a coach that you hate to see. And so tonight they go 7 of 8, and that's one of the reasons to help close this game out.
Explaining the joke, too, Josh McRoberts looks like Jesus with the long hair and the beard.
Yes,
he could win a Jesus lookalike contest, so that's kind of, maybe you can go back and chuckle now. Maybe you've got that, though. Another guy who we said maybe kind of sluggish or not that noticeable game, but again, his fourth or fifth game in a row, 20-10. At least are 20 double figures there. Jefferson, 24 points, 10 rebounds. Again, it's paying dividends. And I know when Higgins came through the media room, somebody looked at him and said, the best thing you have ever done was signing the big man.
Sign that big man and pay him the money. Listen, for anybody out there, I'm going to go ahead and get this out and be as blunt as I can be on camera, Coach. For anybody out there that thinks that they went out there and spent way too much money on Al Jefferson or should have saved that money for after the draft this year or anything like that, right now, this guy is why your team is doing what they're doing, along with Kemba Walker before he got hurt. But this guy, when you know you can go to him every night, Coach, and he can give you what he gives you. We just talked about it. He was sluggish tonight after having a hot role he had for the last few games. He came out sluggish, missed his first few shots. You look at the box score at the end of the game, he shoots over 50%, and he has 24 points and 10 rebounds. A guy who can give you 20 and 10 basically on a nightly basis, that guy is worth every penny, and that is one of the best signings that the Bobcats have ever made.
And it's kind of funny that Ken Blankenship, if he's watching tonight, will get a kick out of this, one of our Cox Sports Broadcasting colleagues. About 7 years ago, we were doing a show together. He would not shut up talking about Al Jefferson, and finally we told him we are sick of hearing about how great Al Jefferson was. Ken, you're right, buddy. You hit it on the head. You may have been 7 years ahead of your time, though, but he told us, he said he's the best big man in the game. He would not shut up talking about Al Jefferson. I'm glad he's a Bobcat.
And the other thing is another funny story. You know, it's good that we can interact with these coaches and the players, and we can get the insights of how they feel about certain players. And one of the stories that I've heard is Al Jefferson was drafted by the Boston Celtics when Doc Rivers was the coach. Doc Rivers now here coaching tonight for the Clippers, so Doc Rivers knows what Al Jefferson can do. So when a guy can still go out there and put up 24 and 10 against a coach who knows him and knows how to game plan for him, that's impressive. And Doc Rivers said when Al Jefferson came out of high school and for the very first practice on the Celtics, he did 2 post moves. Doc Rivers said this is already one of the most skilled low post scorers in the game, and he hasn't even played a game yet. So, and Al's showing it, Coach. You know, as a coach, he's not a guy who's going to dunk over you, jump out the gym with the athleticism, but he's crafty. He has so many ball fakes, so many post moves, and regardless of how athletic you are, when you can have those crafty moves as a veteran, it's hard to stop.
Has a soft touch around the basket, though. You know, and the thing is, we mentioned with Coach Clifford to ask him too. The last couple of games, Bobcats really had not did a good job of getting him the ball at the end of a game, but they went to a new look instead of calling set plays, which the team had scouted and knew to run to him. Just, I guess, kind of ad lib or in the flow of the game, were able to get him the ball. He hit a big shot late in the game, got a couple offensive rebounds, though, but it was good to see him get more active and involved in the fourth quarter with the game on the line.
Absolutely. They were able to give him the ball. He was able to, if he had a look, he'd go for it. If not, he'd try to move the ball around and get somebody else a look. I just think, Coach, we just got to talk about it. The thing that's coming together right now is just this team as a whole. Even without their leader and star player, Kemba Walker, this team is finally gelling together. They know where everybody's going to be on the floor. You can see the ball moving on the offense is better. And Coach talked about it. Their defense is finally back to where it was at the start of the year. When you play an explosive team like the Clippers tonight and you hold them to 91 points, and Coach, we talked about it. There was one time on the floor where they basically had almost 5 3-point shooters on the floor at one time. When you hold them to only 6 3-pointers on the night and they go to the line single-digit times, that's playing some stifling defense right there. And that's one of the reasons is this Bobcats team is on a roll right now. And I hate to say it, because I mean, you don't want to get your hopes up too much with a team who's still growing and everything, but this is the best basketball they've played all year, Coach, and if they can continue to come together with this coaching staff and this group of players and Kemba comes back, again, they can make a push for the playoffs.
And I don't think you see any coincidence either, though. He did not have a big game scoring tonight, though. But you talk about getting back to playing the way the defense was. MKG back in the lineup right there, again, will give you that perimeter defense with his athleticism, chasing the ball on the perimeter, doing things, again, did not have a big night scoring or anything like that. Probably would not have anything to jump at you, but the energy he brings to this team defensively, and then some of the other players feed off of what he's doing, and it makes them better players.
You're right. We asked McRoberts after the game, hey, what is the difference in your defense getting back to where it was? And he said, well, the biggest thing is we got MKG back. MKG brings them, like you said, Coach, he's not going to wow you with his offensive game or anything like that, but what he brings in the intangibles, Coach, you notice you have to have those players who do the things that none of the fans would notice from the stands, but you see it as a coach on the court, and the energy effort that he's able to provide to this defense and the stuff that he's able to do, that's what's making this defense better as a team. And again, Coach, you can harp on this, but you got to have those guys who do the small things like that.
Huge test coming up the next home game. I believe there's an away game between then and then home game, though. But the Bulls come to town Saturday night. You know, what a huge week it would be if the Bobcats could win 3 home games this week, not counting the road game. I think they've got to play on Friday night.
At New York.
New York, a team that they beat, and we know we can beat them, though.
Yeah.
But if you could get that before you go on the road trip, and again, everybody thought that it was going to be a losing streak when we lost Kemba, though. But again, my man Pardo and company, guys have stepped up, and that's what good teams do. When somebody goes down, it brings the best. Like Henderson said, you know, we lost 19 points a game. Not one person is going to get those 19 back, but other people have stepped their games up, and it's a team sport. It is not golf, an individual sport. It's a team sport where you put 5 guys on the floor at a time, and the 5 on the floor plus the ones coming off the bench are making a contribution.
Definitely, and a couple things to look at, Coach. First, you know, you're talking about the guys stepping up. Yes, the whole team has stepped up, and I think another part of the team we got to give credit to is the coaching staff. For Coach Clifford and those guys to be able to change their game plan without Kemba Walker out, he does so much for this team, and to be able to integrate it more to Al Jefferson or more to Henderson to balance the game plan, a great job by the coaching staff. But we go back to this back-to-back coming up. It's a tough back-to-back. You go to Madison Square Garden and play the New York Knicks, and you come home to play the Chicago Bulls. Those are 2 teams that you're going to be competing for a playoff spot, so it's 2 big games. And like you said, Coach, if you can, even if you win the one on the road and lose the one at home, or win the one at home and lose on the road, if you can take 3 out of 4 this week, that's a very impressive week. But the way this team's playing, you said it, Coach, we've already beat the Knicks twice. I think there's a chance that they can win both games. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but the way this team is playing right now, they should be in both those games and have a chance to win them at the end. The question will be, will they close them out like they did tonight, or will they let another close one slip away if they're in a close game in New York or here at home? So I think the team's finally starting to learn how to win these close games, and that's going to help him come the second half of the season.
Being a former coach, I'm going to put my 27 years of experience on the line right now and say that I honestly believe this is the best coaching staff the Bobcats have had in their franchise right now. I love what Coach Clifford does. I love the staff with Patrick Ewing that can work with the big guys. You've got all the other coaches, Mark Price, all the other ones. And how many times over the past few years did you hear me sitting next to you screaming, stop penetration, where is the help side D? We see those things. These guys are well coached now. These are things that until this crew had got here, I used to pull what little hair I had left out of frustration because they weren't doing those things.
This is definitely, you know, besides the Larry Brown staff, and this is possibly better than Larry Brown staff. You know, Larry Brown had a good team, got them to the playoffs. This coaching staff could be the best that they've had. Clifford is so great. We love just sitting there talking basketball. The way he answers questions and he explains in detail what goes on in there, you know he gets it. And the great thing about it is not only does him and his staff get it, but his players get it, and they play hard for him. They love him as a coach, and that's the one thing you need, Coach. We saw it last year. The Bobcats got off to a hot start. They were playing well, but they didn't buy into the coaching staff the whole year.
Fool's goal.
And they didn't buy into the game plan for the whole year, and they didn't really play hard for the staff towards the end of that season. So when you have this staff who knows what they're talking about, and you go out there and you play for them every single night, you're going to get good results, and you're going to keep growing as a team. And I think this coaching staff with Clifford's going to be around for a while. I think the Bobcats finally got it right as far as the coach goes and a staff. All
right, let's get to the real business right now. Challenge match tonight that Jerome on the communications department team here. We had a GQ dress contest today. It's his bow tie night. He said every Wednesday night's bow tie night. So he challenged me to come with my best look with my bow tie. We go from head to toe. I've got my purple socks on tonight, my purple Argyle socks, which you can't see, but Dustin will verify those. I'm not flashing my legs at him. Don't get any ideas. But this is my outfit I've got on here. I've got my Cam Newton sport coat on. I've got my teal shirt on with my purple sweater vest and my teal and purple bow tie and my hat right here. Dustin, you were one of the judges. Give us your impressions of how the contest went tonight.
Well, you know, Coach came in ready to go. You could tell that he was ready to find Jerome right away. And Jerome, I think, came in thinking he had this in the bag, but Coach definitely surprised him with the outfit, the Hornets colors, the bow tie, the socks. And as soon as Jerome saw him, Jerome said, I can't compete with that. It's a hands-down winner. So Coach won that by knockout before it could even go to the judges. Jerome was surrendering. So great job by Coach. He represented for Cox Sports Broadcasting. And Jerome, I think Jerome has taken this challenge. And now that he sees what Coach can bring to the table, Jerome is ready for that next Wednesday night game. Not saying that Coach can't win it again, but I do think Jerome's going to come a little more prepared next time, so it could be a closer battle. And this time it might go to the judges.
Yeah, I went a little easy on him. He did not realize that I was Spartanburg Herald-Journal Best Dressed Coach of the Year 3 straight years in Spartanburg County. Right there, he did not realize. In college, I worked at Thomas & Sons Formal Wear and in the men's shop there, though. He didn't know who he was messing with right here, though.
Definitely surprised. So I think he's going to be a little more ready next time, but I think you will be too, so we'll have to see what happens.
He thinks I'm a one-hit wonder, but you know better than that. You're on the Cox Sports Broadcasting team. You know that I will bring my A game. We have 4 Wednesday nights left, and this competition will exist every Wednesday night. Will be bow tie night. From here on out, though, I can promise you Cox Sports Broadcasting will bring our A game every Wednesday night. We're going for the sweep.
I know you got some tricks up your sleeve. I think Jerome's got some tricks up his sleeve, but I still like your chances. I'm just waiting to see what Jerome's going to do to take it to the next level, because you know he's already said he's plotting some ideas, so it's going to make it fun to see who brings out what these next 4 Wednesday nights.
Broke out the suspenders tonight, though, but I had the hat, the socks. I even had the purple handkerchief in my pocket. I don't know if you noticed that to go along with the color scheme right there, though. But, again, he's not playing with the minor leagues here. He's playing with the NBA's best to offer on this side of broadcasting. But it's going to be a fun dimension we have every Wednesday home game now to see who's going to win the GQ bow tie contest. Will it be the Charlotte Bobcats Communication Department, or will it be Cox Sports Broadcasting? Who knows? I might even talk Dustin into wearing his stuff here if we make it a tag team effort.
Yeah, you might give. I was just about to say, on one of these Wednesday nights, I might have to surprise Jerome and step up for Cox Sports Broadcasting and bring out the stuff that I have. So we'll see what happens. And look, if we can continue having fun with this on Wednesday nights and can continue getting wins on the court, it's going to make for fun Wednesday nights for the rest of the season.
We're going to have fun the rest of the way. And again, want to thank our people who make our broadcast possible. We're going to thank our sponsors very quickly with the Beacon Drive-In, with the Fellowship of Christian Athletes, with Larry's Trophies, with Concoctions Ministries, with the West Side Club. Who am I leaving out?
I believe you got everybody.
I think I've gotten everybody right here, though.
And I want to give a shout out, not only to our sponsors, but also to, like you talked about, Coach, the Bobcats communication staff. They make us feel welcome every night. They come in. It's not just a job for them. They don't treat us like employees. They treat us well. They give us food to eat. They talk to us, joke around with us, and that makes it very good. That makes it very fun for us to come do our job here. And you got to love a staff like that.
And a matter of fact, I'll give you a sneak preview right now. Josh Rosen, who is the communications director, Michael, who is the Vice President of Communications. I've already shared this with them. My next outfit will be in honor of Josh Rosen, who is a Gamecock graduate. He's an alumnus. He's on my team, too, with that. We are going with the red and black outfit, where we'll wear the red and black bow tie, probably red shirt, black vest, black leather sport coat. Go from there, though. Look forward to it. This one will be honoring Josh Rosen in Gamecock colors. We will take win number 2.
And Jerome knows that he's already going to be one against the books on the judges, because he knows if Josh sees that South Carolina color bow tie, there's no way he's getting his vote. So, Jerome, you better bring it, because it sounds like you're already behind the 8 ball on that one.
For Dustin Phifer, I'm the coach, Dick Cox. We're having fun tonight, and the best thing of all, the Bobcats get the win over the Clippers. We'll see you again on Saturday night after the Bulls game. Till then, have a good week, everybody.